What's up, you guys? Welcome to a new video. It's your girl Adrienne Montanez. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. I want to just do a little quick life update. We're chilling at the pad right now. It has been a very rough weekend for me, just emotionally with my life. And the highlight so far has been my dog's been stolen. Yeah, let's get into all of this. But first things first, to all my new subbies, thank you so much for being here. Thank you. Welcome to the channel. It's a little bit of everything. I'm a huge advocate when it comes to mental health, and I just love to be as open and transparent just with myself and showing a little bit of everything. I love fashion, hauls, fitness, health. I've really gotten more into this deeper, and I feel like you're gonna see more of it when it comes to like your mental health and just your internal I'm in this whole like health era with myself, and it's not even just like what food you consume, just even to like what you consume on social media, to the products you put on your skin, to the stuff you allow yourself to drink and intake in food. So I'm just in this really deeper space with myself. I've also been feeling really disconnected, which is why I'm not active right now on Instagram. I'm very active on TikTok. If you follow me on TikTok, follow my TikTok. Everything's in my bio. I did make a backup account too recently because I miss going live on there since my main account is banned on live, not on like content or anything. So I'm just keeping it cool on there for now. But I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of update. I've been going through it. My anxiety and depression has been so heavy these last few months. I don't know what it is. And I'm not trying to make it like, I'll be honest, because I used to talk a lot of politics too, but I feel like maybe just everything that's happening in the world, like, for one thing, I don't agree with what's going on with the whole Israel and Palestine, the genocide, and the way people are, especially what's going on in, I don't agree with anything that's going on in the Middle East, just like humanity itself. Like, I remember when I saw that picture of the child's head blown up, it's a lot of ugly. And then you come over here, and then in America, we have so many problems. We have so many terrorist groups that are just invading all through America. The borders I don't agree with that are being open. I cannot tell you how much theft that has been happening. You have children that are getting bullied. You have children that are committing suicide that are under 12 years old. It's just, I mean, the child abductions, the rape, the trafficking, like, it's just been so much. And that's another thing too, is I had a few encounters for trafficking. That's a whole nother level. I actually almost got abducted myself, which we can get into another story about that later on, which happened about 5 o'clock in the morning in my gym parking lot at another gym I usually don't go to. So I had 3 men that literally came close to abducting me, but because I'm trained in what I had on me, along with how I was gonna move in that scenario, that really saved my ass. That triggered my PTSD for about a good 72 hours. And then on top of it too, like I had a mishaps with my vehicle. I had some other family drama that was thrown at me. And it's just been one thing after another. And I felt like I wasn't really here to really film content. And everything I've been posting has just been in my drafts. But I just knew I needed to take a step back and really recenter myself. So it's like, okay, Adrienne, when all this is thrown at you, what do? Number one is you accept what's happened, but you accept and go through the emotion. I'm a very emotional person. Extremely emotional. I blame my child, respectfully, because like I was never like this. I was just this Billy badass that was ruthless. But once you have a child, that changes everything. I feel like after my incident when I almost got abducted, the way these men were coming at me, and this is at 5 o'clock in the morning, that really shifted a lot for me. So I had to go through the emotion, number one. And number two is, anytime you struggle with any type of anxiety, PTSD, it's always good to avoid any type of crazy processed food, anything greasy. So I always like to make sure, even if that did not happen to me, I like to make sure I implement greens daily. I'm not saying necessarily the green drinks and a green powder and the bloom crap. No, I would just say like a salad, green beans, just intaking some type of vegetables daily. It does help with your brain because there is an imbalance. And drinking plenty of water, not consuming any type of crazy sugar. And 3 for me is always moving the body, you know, still staying consistently active. There was also a moment about a month and a half ago, I felt like this gym burnout before I decided to go into this next like prep of cutting. It's like a pre-prep before you go into a prep. And I cannot tell you how many times like I just felt like I had these weird bumps that came along where I just did not feel, I wasn't connecting, you know. And bodybuilding, it's mind, body, and spirit. You know what I mean? It's everything. It's not just eating a certain way and doing the program and looking a certain way, because things happen. And when all these scenarios started happening within a few weeks, I just felt like I needed to take a step back and recenter my mental health. And first, and also too, I took 2 weeks off from the gym. 2 weeks from the gym. I actually stayed away from my main gym for about a good month just because of what I felt and I gave myself pretty much a whole new routine. And sometimes you just need to do that. I feel like too, just as people, we get so caught up with routine, and it could become really toxic. You know, whether you're working, a stay-at-home entrepreneur, it's like it's always go, go, go. And I feel like I needed to take a step back and actually breathe the fresh air. I needed to reconnect with myself. I was even to the point where, like, you know, like for me, like we go to church on Sundays, and it's like even sitting at at church and listening to the gospel, I just felt I wasn't connecting. Do I believe in God? Yes. Did I change my faith in anything? No, but I just felt like I was overly consumed and overstimulated that I just needed to just step away from everything. Which is why I haven't been active on Instagram, which is why I haven't been proactive on YouTube, which is why I've been posting just like the most random stuff on TikTok and just kind of getting off of everything and just recentering with myself. I actually did dive into a new book, which I'm actually going to do another follow-up video of just some things that have been helping with me. But for me, I always have to go through the emotion, accept it. And I love to write, you guys. I love to channel and write down my thoughts. I know we hear this all the time, but there's an exercise right now with my therapist, and it's pretty much talking, it's part of my healing journey. And one thing she says in the book, he says, is that you need to write, the exercise is who hurt you. And we all have different people who hurt us, but it doesn't matter if you've healed from that person. You need to actually write who hurt you. Like for me, one person in particular I'm gonna say is my father. My father, I don't have the best relationship. It's actually a non-existent relationship. My dad's actually alive. I don't have a relationship I haven't talked to him in maybe about 9 years. He doesn't know anything about my son. He knows I have one, but he doesn't have a relationship because he chooses not to. But the things that I've endured, and I don't have to get into it right here, but just like that I've endured, I feel like they still affect me. And that's one of the people that have hurt me. And you get to write out however much and who. And it's been such a rewarding experience. And it's like things that I didn't even know about myself, I'm barely learning right now. And it's like these missing puzzle pieces, you know? And I always said to myself, no matter what trauma I've gone through, or if somebody, or that you've gone through, like, you don't want to project that on other people. You know what I mean? And I want to be better. There's been times too where I could just snap at my little one, and I check myself and I'm like, you know, Papi, I'm so sorry. Like, I didn't mean to snap at you. I wasn't trying to be mean. Mommy was just having a bad day, but that's not your fault, you know? And I want to be the opposite of what I didn't get growing up. Because I feel like I'm healing my inner child as I'm raising my child, or our child together, you know? Change the camera battery because of course she was dying. But I just wanted to kind of just touch base with you guys that I'm doing good and I'm doing way better. And as much as I felt like I was mentally in that hole, and it wasn't to the point, like I know some people struggle differently with mental health, with like self-harm or anything. For me, I just felt emotionally defeated. And I just kind of wanted to be in this shell. But considering like the traumas and the experiences that I've had, like for me, when I dealt with those 3 men that one morning, I remember it was a Friday morning. I remember like I went through the emotion for 3 days. And then I went back to that gym a week later and faced it. And I know some people are not like that, especially when something traumatic has happened or whatever, or if like something happened in a parking lot, you'll avoid that place. But for me, like I'm built a little different. I have different experiences, and I have some dark ones that still kind of linger to this day. But it's like I had to face it because I didn't want that to just overly consume me. I had to face the fear. Granted, I'm trained to do what I could do to a certain extent, but I'm also outnumbered. You know, I don't recommend this either. I'm just speaking on behalf of experience, and I felt like the devil has really been going overtime with me, you know, trying to bring me down. And I just had to recenter with myself. And I felt like God was like, you know what, we've been moving so fast, you've been moving so fast, and I need you to just slow down. And honestly, simple things like focusing on my household, recentering with my child and his school, recentering just with all of that, because everything that's happened and transpired probably in the last, even before the new year, it's just been so fast that I feel like I haven't had a moment to really breathe, you know? And there was some other things that happened with our family too that shifted the dynamic for a few months. So I was holding a lot of heat and just strength for a long time for all of us. So I felt like my body and just mentally, it just was like, we're done. You're done. You need to take a break. And which is, you're going to see some other content. We actually decided to take a few trips and we started to explore a little bit, and you'll see a little bit more further content. And even like my husband and I were just like, we need to just get away. We need to just take a break. We need to just disconnect and break the routine. And honestly, that has been the biggest blessing right now because it needed to happen. So to anybody out there that is struggling in any type of way, and I know it's expensive, okay? I know it's expensive out here. Whatever it is you have to do, number one thing is with your mental health is, number one is acknowledge it. And number two, you're not being dramatic about it. It's okay, because there's a lot of people out here that are struggling. They're just never going to talk about it. And I want my page and my social media to be a place where, like, you know what, this girl, this woman's not afraid to explain and be open and be authentic with what she struggles with. You know, I don't believe in taking medication for me, because I believe in there's a lot of homeopathic ways, and I feel like there's a lot of medicine is right here on earth. It's right here on the floor. It's right here in your backyard. It's just, it requires a little more time and patience. You know, I do drink a lot of herbal teas also. And I think I definitely want to make some content too with that, just with anxiety, just some things I like to consume daily, because that really does help me, you know, because I don't want to project that on anybody, but I'm also self-aware of it. But to anybody out there that is struggling, just know you're not alone. I'm with you. I was really down and out. There was even, I remember like a week, it was like a weekend, my husband, I was just like, I don't even want to cook. Like, I don't even want to make no food. Nothing's tasting good, you know? And he's just like, screw it, I'm going to do it, you know? Or we're going to go out to eat here, or whatever the case is, you know? Like, he's been really supportive about it, because when you're struggling with your mental health, whether you're in a relationship or you're single, you want to make sure you have somebody you can talk to. I think it helps. For me, I'm grateful I have him. You know, sometimes he doesn't understand it, but he's trying. You know, it's like if you have a parent, and for me, like, I grew up in a really like toxic Hispanic household where just like, you don't talk about your feelings like that, or you're feeling this type of way, like that's not real, you know, or hypochondria, that's in your head. And I don't, even for my son, he struggles sometimes. He'll get kind of anxious. I notice that, and I'll sit and I'll talk to him. I want to make sure I have that safe space feeling with him, because I didn't have that as a kid. You know, I was silenced. I was forced to be quiet about a lot of things. And if you see it in my content when I talk about child predators, family predators, and all of that, like, that's something that hits close to home, and it's because it's something that I've experienced, you know, which is why I'm very open and very vocal when it comes to all types of mental health, you know. And I touched on this briefly earlier, but then what took me over the edge recently was my husband was home. I went to the gym, and it was between 5 and 7 from the cameras that our little black pug was stolen. And I know right away people are just like, well, why wasn't your dog not supervised? Why is the dog outside? Well, it was a nice sunny day, because I'm in California, so it's been really gloomy. So the sun doesn't come out till like after like 1:30, 2 o'clock. So we put her outside. We have chairs and a whole patio for her. The way the gate is set up and everything, like, you can't get her like from the front, because my house faces the street. So whoever did it came up on the porch, and they must have grabbed her under, and they just like shuffled her up and took her over. But on the camera, it didn't show anything, but it showed she was gone by 6:45 p.m. And I'm going to tell you this right now, I lost it. I was an emotional wreck. I was pissed off. I was upset. And by the grace of God, I got her back. I got her back recently, and it's baffled me. So I remember, because we put my pug up on the Ring app, we put her like on the site, the little app, we put it also on the neighborhood watch, and we started getting a lot of feed, because everybody knows her because she's outside and I'm near a couple schools. So it's like, she sees kids and stuff. So like, you know, she stands out. And my neighbor was like, Adri, she's just like, I saw they took Malia, whoop-de-woo, and I'm like, yeah. And she's just like, well, she's here. And I'm just like, no, she's been gone. They're like, no, she's in the front. And it was like 7:15 in the morning. I'm just like, there's no way. Like, I'm literally looking at my phone. It's like, no way. I throw my phone. I go downstairs, and she's right there back inside the gate. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what are the odds? So I go outside, I bring her in, and I hug her, and I'm just like, and she smelled terrible. Like, she smelled awful. And I'm like, what the fuck did they do to you? You know what I mean? Like, and she's not fixed either. I know some people are like, is she microchipped? No, she's not. Like, my child's not even vaccinated. No, because she's not even outside that long. But whoever did it was definitely eyeing her. They were eyeing her. So my neighbor, she's just like, I got video of the lady who put her back. And it was like this lady like in her 50s with a little boy. So I don't know if she did it or if she affiliated with somebody or what, but it doesn't show her putting the dog back, but it's within the time frame Malia was returned. And it's like one of those choppy cameras, so it wasn't ongoing running. It's something that the neighbor had, because it goes into like my front porch. So I was just grateful it happened because I didn't think I'd get her back. She's a full breed black pug. And that was like the highlight of my week. But at the same time too, and I remember I called the groomers. I was like, hey, I told them what happened because I was about to cancel her subscription because I take her weekly to go get groomed. And I was like, hey, my dog was recently stolen, but she was returned. Can I just bring her in, no appointment? And they were just like, absolutely, just to give her a bath because she smelled so bad. Like, I don't know if they like put something on her because you could lure her with treats, but it just sucked because like this whole thing, it just like an invasion of your privacy, and like she's not fixed, and I'm over here like I didn't know. And like I noticed too is like when I had her that day when she came home, when she was returned, I had her on me. I shit you not. She was like on me for like 45 minutes, just on me. So calm. And like, I remember I had the babysitter that day too. She came and she was watching Malachi while I was doing senora duties. And she was just like, Adri, she never sleeps like that during the day. And I was like, no. I was just like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I was like, I don't know if she's pregnant or not. So far, it looks like no. But like, I think it's just trauma and anxiousness. Like she just, it's just been a whirlwind for me. And I've just been feeling so like frazzled with my own thoughts, and it got me emotional because like my little dog is like my emotional companion. I got her when I knew I've had, general anxiety. So she's been like my emotional companion. So like the fact that she was taken from me, I just went ape shit. Like I wanted to go like drive around like a psycho that night and go look for her, but I can't because I'm home with a child. So it was just a lot for me. It was just a lot, you guys. And I just wanted to share this. Like, I know we see like all this perfectness and aesthetic on social media, but we're all human and we all struggle in some type of way. And the last couple months has been a ride for me. It's been a ride, I'll just say that. But I just wanted to update you guys. Things are getting a lot better. My anxiety is doing so much better, my mental health, and just I feel like I kind of took control again with my life and just accepting what's happened, but just pumping the brakes, smelling the fresh air, and I feel like a lot of us suck at doing that, so hopefully this encourages somebody. If you're new here, hopefully I can have you as a subscriber. Until the next video, you guys, I will catch you on the next one. Thank you so much for watching.